Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia. I'm 47 years old, and this is one of the most unbelievable stories I've ever experienced. Even now, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but I can't stop replaying the events in my mind.
During a conversation, I mentioned to someone that I had traveled to Japan the year before. Their response, "Oh, is that where Japanese people are from?" I was stunned for a few seconds before awkwardly replying, "Yeah." Back when I was the IT administrator for a small company, the power went out, which happens occasionally. The secretary called me and asked if the phones were functioning while using the phone. She wasn't testing them, but genuinely inquired if they were working. "Wow, your English is excellent. Do you also speak Canadian?" My mom once asked if Florida was in California. We're Canadian, and she's visited both places. I was born on an Air Force base. In 6th grade, we had one of those About Me assignments, and I wrote the name of the base as my birthplace. When we shared with the class, one student, entirely serious, asked, "If you were born on an Air Force base, were you born on the runway?" For clarity, the base had a hospital, and my dad was on active duty at the time. Where on the shampoo bottle do they list the calorie count? I can't find it. While cruising with a friend, we stopped at a gas station where she bought some snacks. She placed a $5 bill on the counter, and the cashier stared at it as if it were from another planet. Without touching it, she asked, "Is that a 5? To this day, we can't figure out her confusion. Is it okay to swim in a pool with a dead dog? A question I received while working at a pool store. The answer is a definite no. I'm a woman with a twin brother, and countless people have asked if we're identical twins. While working at a living history museum, we maintained a smoky fire to enhance the atmosphere. A visitor once asked, "Is that fire real?" After years of similar questions, I resisted the urge to reply, "Why don't you touch it and find out?" Classmate, what's your ethnicity? Me, I'm part Polish and part Chinese. Classmate, I knew you were mixed. Are you sure you're not Korean? Me, yes, I'm sure. Classmate, you're joking. You must be Korean. I have Korean friends. Me, I'm Chinese. Classmate, can you speak Korean? Me, goodbye. What did people in apartments do before stairs existed? And is Kingdom Come a city in China? Both were from the same person. We have twins, and many people have asked if we were specifically trying to have twins. A customer at a coffee shop purchasing bottled water asked, "Is this real water?" Someone said, "I can't move to England. I don't even know what language they speak." I replied, "English, in England. They speak English." They still asked, "Are you sure?" While working in a bar with 2 floors, a new staff member cleaning at the end of the night asked if they should sweep the dirt upstairs or downstairs. I told them to sweep it upstairs and walked away. Person, where can I find a security guard? Me, security is stationed in the pavilion and available 24/7. Person, what about if I need them at night? While helping my 94-year-old grandfather set up his walker by the car, my 81-year-old grandmother, using her 2 crutches, overheard someone ask, "Why are you parked in the disabled spot?" Her sharp reply, "For the scenic views, genius." Being much taller than the average person in my area, a coworker once remarked, "Don't you think it's inconsiderate to be that tall?" I still have no idea what they meant by that. When someone asked where I'm from, I said, "Venezuela." Their response, "Oh, what part of Africa is that in?" At 16, I worked in retail as a cashier. A customer handed me a coupon for 20% off her total. After I told her the discounted price, she frowned and asked, "Did it take 20% off each item or just the total?" I had to awkwardly explain to her that both mean the same thing. On the first day of 9th grade, the homeroom teacher introduced herself. "I'm Ms. forgot her name, and I'll be your teacher for this year." She then asked us to introduce ourselves. After the first student spoke, she genuinely responded, "Nice to meet you. What grade are you in?" Most odd questions I've heard come from customers at the dog grooming salon. One recently asked, "Do you use scissors that cut to different lengths?" Yes, like every hairdresser does. Another common one, "What happens to dogs in the wild if they can't be brushed?" These questions usually come from owners who don't brush their dogs, leaving me to deal with matted disasters. Listen, Karen, when was the last time you saw a wild golden doodle? I once asked a silly question myself. At 12, I went to a taco truck at a fair. The options were shrimp or chicken tacos. I wanted to ask, "Is there a price difference?" but only said, "What's the difference?" The lady replied, "Well, one's shrimp and one's chicken." I felt so dumb. While trying to move a large weight machine set to its heaviest level, someone suggested, "Why don't we set it to the lightest weight so it'll be easier to move?" About 10 seconds later, they realized why that didn't make sense. Her, "What's the longest 5K you've ever run?" Me, "5K?" Her, "I thought there were longer ones?" Me, "Yeah, like 8K, 10K, or a half marathon." Her, "So the longest 5K you've run was a half marathon?" Me, "What is even happening right now?" Someone asked, "What's the difference?" After I said, "Would you like sea salt or oregano?" Thinking they were joking, I replied, "Well, one's sea salt and the other is oregano." They got mad, saying, "I could have told you that." Thankfully, their friends stepped in and told them they were being ridiculous. "Can you take off your glasses?" Me, yes." Takes them off. Them, "I didn't know you could take glasses off." What are eggs made of? This wasn't about their chemical composition. They wanted to know if they contained flour because of the whites or butter because of the yolks. The person asking was 23 years old and clearly not the sharpest tool in the shed. I live in the Netherlands, and my mom is from Hong Kong. During a Dutch presentation about the current protests, my teacher asked several questions not covered in my slides, which I could answer and even correct her on. Later, classmates asked how I knew so much. I explained my mom is from Hong Kong, and they responded, "Why is your mom from Hong Kong?" When I asked what they meant, they just repeated the question. Manager, Can you stay late? Me. Will I get overtime pay? Manager. You're already on a salary. Me. I'm paid for 40 hours a week. Manager. Do it for the company. Me. And what does the company do for me? Manager. It gives you a job. Me. I work to earn money. It's a business arrangement. The company keeps me because it benefits from my work. Don't work for free, kids. I share a place with 2 roommates, and we split the cost of shared household items like toilet paper, garbage bags, and paper towels. Recently, I bought these supplies at Target, calculated each person's share, and informed them of the amount. One roommate, however, asked if she would get money back because she had already sent me her rent payment for January via Venmo. This is just one of many unbelievably ridiculous questions she's asked. My high school was predominantly white, and one day during class, a girl turned to me and asked, "So, do black people, have black blood?" The question was so absurd I couldn't even muster a response. Job interview. Interviewer. Why do you want this position? Me, intellectual that I am. I'm hungry. While having dinner in the university dining hall, a friend asked, "How big is a star? Could one fit in this room?" I gently informed her that it probably wouldn't fit. A former co-worker once asked me if French and Italian were the same language. I give him credit for at least attempting to learn something new. A client called me early in the morning, furious. "Your company is awful. You can't even make a proper calendar app. I tried booking for the 30th of February, but it only shows up to the 29th. How am I supposed to book the 30th if it's not there?"